Minutes ago, the world of royalty exploded. Sources close to the palace report that Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, allegedly lost her composure in a way that shocked everyone around her after the palace, under King Charles's direct order, reportedly released footage that could tie her to missing royal funds. The mere suggestion that a member of the royal family could be implicated in something so serious sent ripples across London, New York, and beyond. But what actually happened? What does this mean for the monarchy, for Meghan, and for the public who have watched this story unfold for years? And why now, in the middle of King Charles's reign, does this footage surface? The answers are more shocking than anyone could have predicted. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Imagine the tension inside the palace walls. Years of tradition, of silent protocol, of whispered alliances and private trust, potentially shattered in minutes. Staff who have served the family for decades reportedly said they had never seen a reaction like this. Meghan's furious response is said to have startled even those accustomed to royal dramatics. Could it be that the pressure of public scrutiny, combined with the demands of royal responsibility, finally reached a breaking point? Or is there more at play? Calculated moves, strategic leaks, and hidden motives that the world has yet to uncover? The footage allegedly reveals actions that would never normally leave the vaults of Buckingham Palace. And yet, under King Charles's insistence, it has been released, or at least partially leaked, to sources who then spread the story. The palace has not officially confirmed the details, but insiders suggest that the implications are severe. Every frame of this footage is said to be scrutinized, with multiple interpretations emerging almost immediately. Some claim it shows financial discrepancies. Others suggest more direct involvement in handling funds in ways that are highly irregular. And while Meghan herself has not commented publicly, whispers of outrage, panic, and disbelief ripple through the corridors of royal influence. Why does this matter now? Because timing is everything. King Charles's ascent to the throne was marked by promises of modernity, transparency, and renewed commitment to the crown's integrity. Any scandal, especially one involving financial impropriety, could threaten the careful balance he is trying to maintain. The monarchy is a delicate institution, and public trust is fragile. One rumor, one leak, one video, minutes old, can ignite global speculation, influence markets, and reshape the narrative surrounding centuries of tradition. And yet, here it is. The world is watching, waiting, questioning. The question on everyone's lips is simple. What really happened, and how deep does it go? But let's rewind a moment. Think about Meghan Markle's journey. From Hollywood actress to royal icon, her rise has been both meteoric and controversial. Every step has been scrutinized, every move analyzed by millions around the globe. From engagement announcements to wedding day spectacles, from charitable work to private disputes, Meghan has lived a life under the public eye that few could imagine. Her critics have always questioned her motives. Her supporters have celebrated her courage. But now, in the context of this alleged financial scandal, the stakes are higher than ever. Could past decisions, previously dismissed or celebrated, be reframed in a much darker light? Consider the alleged footage itself. If the reports are accurate, it does not merely suggest financial missteps. It hints at intentionality. Observers claim that the way funds were moved, documented, and accessed shows a level of planning that cannot be ignored. But here's the twist. There are conflicting accounts of exactly what the footage reveals. Some insiders say it clearly shows discrepancies. Others claim it could be misinterpreted. And yet, the mere existence of the footage has already sparked debates on social media, in tabloids, and in serious financial circles. What would you do if such a video existed and implicated someone you trusted implicitly? How would you reconcile loyalty with legal and ethical responsibility? Public reaction has been swift. Across platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, clips and comments are circulating faster than official statements. Hashtags are trending, debates are raging, and the world is taking sides. Some defend Meghan, arguing that the palace may be exaggerating or even manipulating events for its own purposes. Others accuse her of betrayal, citing the footage as proof of wrongdoing. The sheer volume of speculation has created an echo chamber, amplifying fear, outrage, and curiosity simultaneously. And this is only the beginning. The story is far from over, and what comes next will likely shock even the most seasoned observers. But here's another layer. King Charles, now firmly in control of the monarchy, reportedly issued a direct order to release the footage. This is unusual, unprecedented even, in a family known for secrecy. Traditionally, scandals were quietly managed, resolved behind closed doors. The fact that the footage has been deliberately shared or leaked under his authority suggests a strategic decision. The king may be signaling a new era of accountability, or he could be maneuvering to protect the crown from further damage. Either way, the implications are significant. If the palace is willing to risk public exposure of such sensitive material, it suggests that what we are seeing is not a minor issue. It is a crisis. Now, imagine being in Meghan's position. Public scrutiny, royal duties, personal pressures, all converging at once. Reports indicate that her reaction was immediate, visceral, and highly emotional. Witnesses describe a mix of anger, disbelief, and panic. Was this an outburst of frustration, a calculated response, or a combination of both? Did she anticipate the footage being seen publicly, or was it a complete shock? The answers to these questions remain unclear, but insiders suggest that her behavior was out of character even for someone used to high-pressure situations. Could this be the breaking point in a saga that has been years in the making? This situation raises profound questions about trust, loyalty, and accountability within the monarchy. When does personal ambition cross the line into betrayal? When does the public's right to know outweigh private discretion? And how do these dynamics play out in a family whose every move is already scrutinized by millions? These questions are not hypothetical. They are at the heart of the current crisis. Every action, every reaction, and every statement now carries enormous weight. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher. And yet, even as we explore these dynamics, the story continues to unfold. New reports suggest that palace advisors are preparing additional statements, that legal teams are reviewing the footage frame by frame, and that international media outlets are positioning themselves for a full-scale coverage storm. The speed at which events are moving is dizzying, leaving the public in a state of near-constant suspense. What was once a rumor is now a tangible, unfolding drama, and it is happening in real time. Could there be further revelations in the next few hours, days, or weeks? The uncertainty only adds to the tension. So, what can we conclude for now? The footage allegedly implicating Meghan Markle in the mishandling or theft of royal funds represents not just a potential scandal, but a moment of historical significance. The king's involvement, the public reaction, the conflicting narratives, and Meghan's intense response all combine to create a story that is simultaneously shocking, fascinating, and deeply troubling. This is more than gossip. It is a real-time drama with real-world consequences unfolding before our eyes. And as the palace braces for what comes next, one thing is clear: nothing about this situation is settled, and the fallout could be enormous. But what comes next is even more important. While the footage itself has caused a stir, the real story lies in the context, the motivations, the reactions, the behind-the-scenes power plays, and the potential consequences for everyone involved. Every detail, from a fleeting glance on camera to a whispered conversation in palace corridors, could be significant. Every interpretation matters, and every revelation has the potential to change the narrative entirely. And as we begin to explore these layers, one question remains: how deep does this crisis really go? And what will happen when the full truth comes to light? The answer, as insiders hint, could alter the perception of the monarchy forever. The alleged actions captured in the footage are only part of a larger story involving strategy, emotion, and the fragile nature of trust within one of the world's most scrutinized families. And while speculation runs rampant, one thing is undeniable: the release of this footage under King Charles's authority marks a turning point. It sets the stage for revelations that could shock not just the United Kingdom, but the global audience watching every move. The anticipation is nearly unbearable, and the world waits with bated breath. But just as quickly as this story has erupted, it has also left countless questions unanswered. Who else knew about the footage? Who authorized its release? What does Meghan's future look like in the wake of this exposure? And perhaps most importantly, What hidden details have yet to emerge? Details that could rewrite the narrative entirely? These questions hang in the air, unanswered, yet pressing. And as the public waits for clarification, the drama continues to escalate behind closed doors. The first whispers of the footage began as nothing more than murmurs in the palace corridors, hushed conversations between staff who had seen things no outsider was supposed to know. But once the word got out, it spread like wildfire. The claim that a member of the royal family, someone as visible and scrutinized as Meghan Markle, might be implicated in financial misconduct sent immediate shockwaves through the palace. Insiders say the atmosphere became electric, tense, almost dangerous. Every footstep, every glance, every conversation seemed charged with a silent question. Had the monarchy's most intimate trust been violated? And if so, how deeply? The footage itself, sources allege, was captured over months and compiled in a series of highly confidential files meant only for select palace officials. Supposedly, it shows interactions with documents, transfers, and conversations regarding royal finances that, taken at face value, suggest discrepancies. Some claim it depicts deliberate mishandling of funds. Others argue it could be entirely circumstantial. But here's the kicker. It wasn't supposed to be seen by anyone outside a small inner circle. And yet, somehow it leaked. Who leaked it? Was it an accident? Or was it a calculated move to pressure someone? Or even Meghan herself? The palace has a long history of controlling narratives, of protecting their image at all costs. Typically, sensitive matters like this are managed quietly, quietly corrected, quietly silenced. Never before, it seems, had the king directly authorized the release, or at least the sharing, of material that could be so explosive. Sources describe secret meetings in hidden chambers, documents passed between aides, and whispered discussions that would make even seasoned observers of palace politics hold their breath. Imagine the tension, decades of loyalty, decades of protocol, potentially compromised in minutes by a single act of disclosure. And the staff, the people who keep the palace running, reportedly reacted with a mixture of fear and disbelief. Some described seeing Meghan walk into a room and noticing a sudden hush fall over everyone present. Eyes darting, palms sweating, a palpable sense of dread. Could it be that someone had crossed a line, or was this the natural fallout from years of simmering internal conflict? And yet, in every account, one detail stands out. The footage's release changed everything. Social media was not far behind. Within minutes of initial leaks, Twitter accounts, Instagram stories, and online forums were ablaze with speculation. Headlines emerged, carefully worded to tease scandal without confirmation. Palace footage shows Meghan in financial dispute. Duchess of Sussex allegedly implicated in money scandal. Even casual observers suddenly found themselves part of a global discussion, debating the meaning, authenticity, and consequences of material that was intended to remain hidden. But while the public engaged in heated debate, insiders within the palace were dealing with something much more immediate: damage control. Here's what we know from staff sources. The footage apparently spans months of interactions, with moments that, if taken out of context, could seem incriminating. Imagine a brief clip of Meghan reviewing documents with aides. A hand gesture here, a conversation snippet there. Taken individually, nothing seems shocking. But compiled in sequence, analyzed frame by legal and financial experts, it allegedly paints a picture that is much more serious. The stakes are enormous. Millions of pounds, centuries of trust, and reputations that cannot easily be restored are all potentially hanging in the balance. Now consider the timing. The footage reportedly surfaced just as King Charles was attempting to establish a new standard of transparency for the monarchy. Public relations campaigns were underway to showcase openness, charity, and modern leadership. And suddenly, this potential scandal emerges. Was it coincidence? Or is there a deeper strategic move at play? Some insiders suggest the timing is deliberate. A warning, a recalibration of power within the family, a reminder that no one is untouchable, no matter their public profile. The reactions among palace aides are said to have been mixed. Some were furious, believing that the leak undermined decades of careful management. Others saw it as inevitable, almost overdue. Still others worried about how Meghan herself would respond, knowing her history of direct engagement with the media. How would someone who has spent years in the public eye, who understands the power of narrative, react when potentially compromising footage is suddenly exposed? Sources claim that when Meghan first learned the extent of what had been seen, or could be seen, her reaction was explosive, but not in the way most might imagine. Some say it was anger. Others insist it was a controlled, almost calculated response designed to send a message. And yet, everyone agrees. It was intense, and it changed the dynamic within the palace instantly.